Hello, my loves. Okay. Tonight's topic, what we're going to talk about, all right? Everybody talks about the best ways to fund a government contract, but we're about to flip it and talk about some of the things that you shouldn't be doing. So, today I'm going to break down the three of the worst ways to fund a government contract because we talked about three ways to fund a government contract, but I think it's important for you to know how to not fund a contract. Okay. The ones that leave you broke and stressed, even out of business for not getting paid, we're leaving all that behind. All right. So we're going to talk about that tonight. If you stay in tuned till the end, there is a bonus. And the bonus that I'm about to give you, you want to stick around for. All right. So, topic of the night, three things not to do when funding government contracting, because somebody's got to tell you that these three things are not okay. All right. So let me share real quick. We're going to go into, okay, masterclass link is in the description. Okay, that's for September 11th, 11 a.m. via Zoom. So if you want to lock in masterclass, that's where your link is. That's where you make the purchase. And we're rocking out 11 a.m. September 11th. In the meantime, the first thing we're going to talk about, number one, when it comes to not funding a government contract in this particular way, we're going to talk about payday loans. Okay, and the reason why you should not be funding a contract with a payday loan. Now, there's a reason behind this. When I first started my brokerage, something that was really important to me was to not take out a loan. If I took out a loan, I knew that I would spend however much time trying to pay that loan back. It took me a while to create my LLC based off of the fact that I did not go for a loan. A couple reasons why this is a bad choice is because one, the interest rate. 200% to 600% is way too high for a small business to take that kind of hit. In government contracting, you also are not 100% sure when you're going to win a contract or when you're going to get paid because delays happen on invoicing and processing and things happen, right? Like, let's think about Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong, it will go wrong, right? That's just how the universe tends to work. And there's a short repayment window that doesn't match the government's timeline. If you take out a payday loan and you need to pay it back within 30 days at this kind of interest rate, it can bury you, right? You don't want this much stress and anxiety financially when you're just stepping into the game of government contracting. Then you're more stressed out because now you have to answer to the third party company that you took the payday loan from, right? So it's just creating a cycle of more and more and more debt. Right now, you're starting to pressure the government to pay you. They're kind of on a delay. You're thinking you're going to get paid in 30 days, and please be aware that things happen. Like they can tell you you're going to be paid in 30 days, and sometimes you might not get paid for 45. But if you're in a contract with a payday loan company and they expect to be paid in 30, now you're cutting into your profits because you're eating up everything you have in fees, right? So payday loan is a terrible option. Okay. And this is the reason why, right? What's up? Okay. You're not right now. Okay. Just give me 1 second, please. Um, so we're going to move to number two. And I think number two is extremely important too, which is personal savings. We all know how long we all know how long it takes, right? To be able to save personally. That is your cushion for an emergency in your life, for your family, for something that could potentially go wrong in your life where you need your personal savings. Taking your personal savings and investing them in government contracting is a bad idea because they are so hard to save. It is tough to save, right? And if something goes wrong and you invest your savings into government contracting, it's just overall not a good look and a good investment strategy because there is no guarantee that you are going to win a government contract. If I'm talking realistically, right? And I know you're thinking, okay, I can take my savings, I have 12,000, let's invest that into government contracting. What's the ROI on that? What's the return on investment? Can that take up to a year for you to replenish your savings account? Right? If something goes wrong in your life with your family, you took your investments, put it into government contracting, and now you have nothing to fall back on. Okay. Now, if you got $5 million saved, by all means, do do what you do, right? But it often takes us a long time to strategize our savings bucket and to invest them in something that is not a guarantee, is not a good look, right? And then there's another reason that I wanted to touch on as well. Contracts are business ventures. They're not personal, like gambling. We're not gambling here, right? We're doing things with strategy. We're doing things with knowledge. We're doing things, okay, in a way that is strategic for our business, right? So try to keep the personal aspect out of it because we are not gambling, my friends, right? We're taking risk, but we're not gambling. Okay. So please, your personal savings are something that I know to me is very important. It took me a long time to build up my savings. And if I'm in a financial situation that's stressing me out and I can't go to those emergency funds, now I am more stressed out than I have ever been. Okay. And I think in your mind, you can understand why these two that I've already touched on are not a good look. All right, if we get straight to the point. And I'm creating slides for you so that you have like a better understanding. And then what we will do is pull off. But number three, okay, that we're going to talk about is loan sharks. Okay, loan sharks and unregulated lenders. All right, they smell desperation. If they smell that you are desperate to make some kind of investment or get some kind of loan, they will prey on that, right? So there's zero legal protections and you're at their mercy. Because think about it, when you're desperate financially, what kind of moves do you make when your back is put against the wall? They're not really strategic moves. They're not really things that you think about that make you want to make smart choices, right? Because you're desperate, you're stressed out, you're trying to figure out how to fund a contract. You know, it's something that can put your back against the wall and just create more of a mess than anything in your life at this current time, right? So, if the funding source sounds sketchy, it will cost you more money in the end, and it can also cost your business. And this is time that we're talking about investments, building your LLC, building your company, past performance, testimonials. All these things take an extreme, like a good amount of time, right? And just to throw it all away because you're desperate to financially fund a contract is not a good look. Okay, so that those three are huge: payday loans, personal savings, loan sharks or unregulated lenders. Those are three absolute no-nos. Okay, because in government contracting, in our business, we need to be able to think ahead. When I say ahead, I mean like 6 to 9 to 12 months ahead. Not really necessarily the right now, but what can we do ahead of time in order to make our companies grow, thrive? You know, so we have to think about that. And these three options will put you in a serious deficit, debt, depression if you try to utilize them. Okay, Matter of fact, this is a bonus, and I gotta get this one out because oftentimes people have this thought like, oh my God, I won the contract. I'm so excited. Now I got to fund it. They look at every single option. Okay. So the three I just told you are ones you're not going to look at. And the bonus that I told you to stick around for is borrowing from family and friends. Okay. This can potentially ruin relationships. Okay. Family relationships, friendships, because I'll be darned if anybody ever says to me, you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for me, right? Even if you do borrow money from a family member or a friend and you pay them back, now it becomes, well, if I didn't give you that money, you wouldn't have that contract, or you made that money off of me. Right? I think we can all understand where I'm going here because everyone has that person in the family, right? Her, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have this big success. And don't act like these people don't exist in your family. We want people to be happy for us. We want people to clap for us, but not everybody understands the version of you that you are right now, and the version of you at level 100 and a level 1,000 and level a million, right? Your family doesn't understand that. So when they start to see you come up, and this page is not about that, but this is the bonus because I have seen people who are taking from their family and their friends, and what happens is it just becomes a mess. It just causes so much confusion in the end because now people start to say, and if I'm being totally honest, our family, when you say government contracting, they have no clue what you're talking about. You have to sell yourself in order to get your family to invest in government contracting because they have no clue what it is. And that's okay, right? That's okay. It's your journey. They don't have to understand it, they have to respect it. But nine times out of 10, they just don't get it. They don't understand what you're doing. And then stress and pressure from the family, it can distract you. And mixing business with personal, this is something I don't have to say, but mixing business with personal is a mess. It really is. Financially, relationship wise, any process you can think of where you're mixing the two, it is a mess, right? Um, Now, protect your relationships. Don't fund your contract at the expense of your peace at Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, right. You don't want to be arguing at the dinner table because you got rich. Someone in the family helped you with the money, and they didn't want to go on the same journey as you. Okay, we're not going to do that, right? Um, so the bonus was the most important one because what happens is the back goes against the wall. You're like, yay, I won the government contract. That is the easy part. That is the easy part because now you got to fund it and you got to execute it. You got to show the work. You got to show that you can get the job done, right? Do not go to your family and your friends. They don't understand your journey. They don't understand what government contracting is. They do not get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you are at a risk of putting your friendships and your family in jeopardy because people are people. Like we're still, I don't care. We're still humans, right? Like some of us do things with the best intentions and others don't, right? And that's not for us to figure out. Be who you are, right? Don't operate that way, but some people do. All right, so please don't have this idea of, oh yeah, I can just get it from Uncle Joe. He's all right. He can make an investment for me. And then when you blow up and you hit that $2 to $3 million contract, and he doesn't understand the process of what you are going through, that's a big misunderstanding, right? Now it's time to take you along, and it's just a mess. Okay. So I'm going to go. I'm actually going to have dinner with my daughter. I would like to sit down and have some family time. But those are the three things: payday loans, personal savings, loan sharks, and bonus is borrowing from friends and family. Now, I also need to mention this. If you have someone who's in your corner who understands government contracting and they are very close to you, like family or friends, invest together so it doesn't make it look like you're bing bonging off of each other, right? Both of you take your funds and invest and work on the contract together, right? Because some people have people in their life who are supportive and they understand the process and the journey of what you're trying to accomplish. So if that is the case, then by all means, invest and love on each other and grow together. Okay? Because that is possible too. But think about these three things. Go back and watch the 3 ways to fund a contract that you should be doing, and then come back and watch this, the 3 things that you shouldn't be doing. Okay? Masterclass is September 11th. It is via Zoom. All right, we're ready to rock out together. I want to see you there. The link is in the, always point that way. The link is in the chat right here. If you have questions, hashtag replay. And if you are new here, subscribe, like, and if you know someone who is struggling in government contracting, share the live with them as well. Bring them over so they can get inspired, educated, and motivated all at once, right? I love y'all as a community. I appreciate y'all being here, all 215 of you, because 215, I don't, it seems like 100,000 to me, right? So I love you each individually. If you are interested in the pricing course, because I see it in a lot of conversations that I've been having, you guys are struggling, and gals, with pricing. So if you're looking for a course that can help you price government contracts faster, stronger, and better, September 10th, lock in. Okay, and I'll put that in the chat as well. So we have 2 classes coming up. I was able to open an extra time slot, which is September 18th. So if you want to come September 11th masterclass or September 18th, it's completely up to you, right? Or you can come to the pricing course September 10th. Either way, you have 3 separate options. And the pricing course is more focused on people who are struggling. And if we have a conversation, which I really love to do, I love to have conversations before I get you in the masterclass so I can focus on what your challenges are to help you overcome them. Okay? That's what I want you to understand. And then I can tell you, hey, maybe the pricing course might be better for you, or maybe the master class might be better. But if you're looking to purchase the master class, right, reach out to me via email and say, hey, Deb, I want to hear about your journey. I really do. I want to understand what you're focused on so I can provide value for you, which the value is already there, right? But if I can focus solely on what your challenges are, then you will understand better what course is easier for you to maintain. And it's all, it's not too in depth, right? It's not too confusing. I'm just giving it to you straight. All right. So whether it's masterclass or pricing course, I'm excited to see you there. Okay. Links are in the chat. I love you. Whatever you are thinking that is good, think bigger. I'm going to go enjoy some time with my daughter, and I will talk to you soon.